What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus, coming to you from the Shy Bears Plus studio. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter at Shy Bears Plus and on Instagram. Joined by +_shy on Twitter via the interwebs. Jeff is in the house. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm just a fan who likes football, who's ready to talk about football.
Very good. And I do appreciate you doing these with me. I do feel like it brings out the best of me. You know, you're like a Alex, or you're a Khalil Mack of sorts. I always want to call Khalil Mack Alex Mack for some reason. I don't know. It's the Alex Mack thing.
It's just their last name, correct?
What? Pardon me. What was that?
At least you're getting their last names correct.
Yeah. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. So this week we have the Week 4 preview, the 2-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the 2-1 Chicago Bears, your first place Chicago Bears, that is. This is a game where the teams couldn't be any more similar in the complete opposite of ways. We'll get into some of those things a little bit later, but obviously there's the strengths and weaknesses are complete opposite, basically. But we always like to start off with stats of the day. That's Jeff at +_shy. He's going to bring them to you right meow.
Yeah, the hottest stats of the day. Check it out. We have coming at you with both sides of the ball, offense and defense. First off, we've been talking about this often. Bears time of possession. They're number 2 in the NFL with time of possession with 34 minutes and 42 seconds. Number 1 with 36 total minutes a game is the Philadelphia Eagles. Pretty good role models right there. All right, continuing on the offense, Mitchell Trubisky has 591 total pass yards for the season. That's just behind Tom Brady, Cam Newton, and Andrew Luck. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that are just above him with total passing yards for the season. Also, Mitch Trubisky is number 9 in completion percentage. He's doing better than Alex Smith, Andrew Luck, and Kirk Cousins. That's the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, 5th in total yards, 7th in points per game. They have the 3rd most amount of pickoffs. That's because there are 2 teams that are tied at first with 7. The Bears have 5. Give me another hat. Let's go. The Bears defense, last stat of the week, number 1 in sacks. Khalil, quote-unquote, Alex Mack doing it.
Very good. So, with those stats, I know you don't like we're trying to keep it short, but what are you on the offensive side? You're pointing out a lot of things with Trubisky and where he ranks.
Yeah.
Were you going somewhere with that? Because I feel like they all tie together.
Well, they kind of do, and I don't know if you want to jump the gun with this, but that kind of dives into my what to watch for this week.
Then we will skip it because it was coming up very shortly. Boom.
What?
So we go next into what to watch for this week for Tampa Bay versus the Bears. I'm starting off. What to watch for. Number 1, we're filming this on a Thursday, so we do not know for sure if we're getting Fitzmagic or we're getting Winston. Are we getting the guy with 4 straight 400-yard games, or are we getting a guy off of a 3-game suspension? It could be a big deal. I predicted in my preseason the Bears would win this game because we would be getting Winston back rusty, going to give us the advantage at home. I don't know. I feel like I would rather see Fitzmagic personally. And then we have perhaps the league's best offense versus the best defense. What a matchup. And then maybe a bad Bucs defense versus a bad Bears offense. What a matchup. Who's going to win? The best of the best and the worst of the worst. And that's what's going to come down to, I feel like. What to watch for? Who's suiting up right now at cornerback? We have Cooper, questionable, and Prince Amukamara, questionable. Tolliver, a rookie out of LSU, is going to be the starter as of now. If they're in the game, watch for whoever's in the game, how they're moving on that bum leg, or how that rookie performs in the spotlight. Although he did have some catches on him last week, but he didn't perform terrible. The rest of this defense could probably lift him up. And finally, if Chris Conte was your starter at safety, how bad is your backfield, your defensive backfield? Who's behind him? Who's worse than him? Hold on. Seriously, how bad do you have to be behind him to be behind Chris Conte? And those were my things to watch for this week.
Just real quick on the Kevin Tolliver note, they threw him right into the fire during that game. So they have some trust in him. And they played, it seemed like a deep cover 3 there, bend but don't break. So I really do think Kevin Tolliver is going to get the majority of that opposite of Kyle Fuller position. What to watch for? It's the Mitchell Trubisky. What to watch for? Watch Mitchell's footwork. Watch his willingness to stay in the pocket with pressure. Watch, is he going to be able to hit the dump off or the check down or the swing on the outside? Is Mitchell going to be able to spot the blitz? All right, is he going to be able to audible correctly off of that? All right, is he going to go through his progressions and find the open man? And then is Mitch going to be able to not look like a spaz when everything breaks loose? Okay, what to watch for? It's just Mitchell Trubisky. We already know what we're getting with everything else. Great insight with the Kevin Tolliver, but Mitchell Trubisky, that's it.
I agree. Mitchell is really an X factor here. If he performs, this offense will perform. And when you're playing a bad defense that gives up a lot of yards, I agree with you 100%. That's my X factor on the O for sure. Bears victory. Plus, up next, new hat. Let's go. Robert at Shy Bears. Plus, again, run the ball. Run the ball. Give me at least 35 carries with Cohen and Howard. The Bucs, if they don't possess the ball, they can't score. You do not want to play in a shootout game with these guys. There's too many weapons. Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Cameron Bates, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard. There's just too many weapons. You don't want to get in a shootout. Possess the ball, run the ball, convert third downs, and then get points in the red zone, and you have your good chance to win this game. Explosive plays, however, I don't want to run it every single play. I want to see the ball down the field. I want to see shots. I want to see Robinson being a wide receiver, number 1, going up and getting it versus these small corners. I feel like we have a matchup advantage deep down there, and I want to see more explosive plays with Tariq Cohen. Get him the ball in the flat, let him do some things. When we're trying to run the ball out, we got him the opportunity to run a shotgun. He's caught a swing pass. Big plays, big plays, big plays. Cohen, get him involved wherever. If the Bears have consistent pressure with 4, they will win this game. I feel like the Bears can get consistent pressure with 4, unlike the Steelers. Steelers had to bring pressure. They had to bring guys. Sometimes they got home and they got Fitzpatrick a little bit disheveled. Other times, he beat them on it. The Bears right now have the most pressure with the least amount of blitzes. That gives you such an advantage when you're dropping 7 instead of 5 or 6. So if you can get home with 4, we're talking about a Bears victory. Plus, Bears O-line, stop McCoy, stop JPP, and I want you to clog up those run lanes, and you will win. I'm looking at you, Bears O-line, to step up and carry Mitch Trubisky through this game. Tampa Bay, secondary, pretty terrible. Mitch, could this be a breakout game? If it's a breakout game for you, you hit on just a couple of those deep throws. You're gonna put him on. You're gonna put him on wheels. You're gonna put him, have them backpedaling, wondering if that ball's gonna be going over their head again. It's gonna open things up in the run. And finally, Nagy, BU. The Bears have not had the yards per game that you would expect going into this season on the rush. So the yards per carry has been down. I meant to say yards per carry. I apologize. I believe that the creativity with Nagy this year has been the difference of what's given them the amount of room they've had to run. There's been guys in the box. There's been unfortunate box counts. So I think that Nagy BU keep being unpredictable and bringing those different looks, because it's really, without a deep game, it's the only thing that's giving us a chance to not play against 9-man boxes. What are your Bears victory pluses, Jeff?
All right, I don't even know how to follow that, but I'll try. I don't mind the fact that the Bears are number 2 in overall time of possession. I don't mind the fact that we are controlling the football and not turning it over when we're doing that. So Bears victory plus Howard, Cohen, and Cunningham, 30-plus touches combined with all three of those guys. The more the better, okay? The more the better. 0 turnovers by Mitchell Trubisky. No fumbles, no interceptions, no batted balls. Okay, I know that's a lot to ask for the latter, but let's do it. Okay, and then the defense to bend but don't break. The last few weeks we've seen the Buccaneers really advance the football with big plays, scoring on these big plays. Can the Bears play that deep three, especially with the young quarterback, keep the football in front of them, get it down into the red zone? If it does, that defense really bunches up there. Bend but don't break, Bears victory pluses.
Very good. I agree with all of those, sir. Buccaneers victory pluses, starting with me. If I'm the Buccaneers, I want to force the Bears to bring consistent pressure, extra men in the box, and free up those wide receivers, the weapons that we were just talking about. It's not easy to man up on those guys. Goodwin, even Godwin, he had like 230 yards, I believe, in the last 2 games, filling in for injured Deshaun Jackson. So 1, 2, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, all great targets. You want to make them bring more people to try to beat you. I pick Fitz over Winston. That's another one of my pluses. Go with Fitz if you want to win this game. I feel like you should ride this hot hand. And then I believe they have a bye week next week. Figure that out. Give them 2 weeks to come back fresh with some good practice, not cold. Don't even worry about Winston. Go with Fitz. And if I'm Tampa Bay, I want to manage to strike first, go after whatever corner's in, whether it's a hurt cornerback or a recovering quarterback. Make the Bears play catch up and play from behind. It's your only chance because this Bears D is dominant and we can control the clock. And then, like I said, attack Tolliver or McManus if they are in, and those are my Buccaneers victory pluses. What do you have for me, Jeff?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. All right, Buccaneers victory plus. Just keep hitting on those big plays.
Yep.
You know, like you said, get ahead early. If they could exploit the young quarterback, if the Bears do decide to bring a blitz and Fitzmagic is able to hit on that, those big 30, 60-yard plays, the more the merrier, obviously. Fitzmagic, only quarterback in NFL history to have 3 consecutive 400-yard passing games to start the season. He gets number 4. I'm not quite sure that's a good thing. All right, so if he does, they do hit the big plays, but they're able to control the ball, control the clock during all that, then I think actually if Fitzmagic does not get the 400 count, that's actually better for the Buccaneers. All right, and then lastly, score on special teams. If they're not going to be able to move it on the Bears and the Bucs D is doing their part, scoring on special teams, they're not going to be able to score on offense, possibly, all right, even though all those valid points we just gave and how many weapons they have, they're going to need to score on special teams for it to be an Arizona victory plus.
All right, well, that takes us to the fun part of the show, the final part, where we make a couple of predictions.
I was having fun the entire time. Even when you're going your
but
12,
let's face it, you came here to see what we're predicting. You probably have watched Jeff make his predictions in the past. You know that's who he picks the winners. You know how he does it. So you're going to have to wait for that. Robert's going first. Because of the Bears, we'll have home field advantage. I don't trust our offense. I feel like this is going to be a close game. We will slow down their offense, but we will not stop it. So it's going to be a close game. Bucs got a short week, and they got to travel. All those things being said, my pick is the Chicago Bears 23, Buccaneers 20, winning by a field goal, eking it out. It's going to be a close game. I'm nervous. I feel like this one could go any way. Because they're so evenly matched in opposite ways, it doesn't make sense, but it does. Jeff, what do you have?
Yeah, you and I quite often see eye to eye on these things, and I do also believe that this is going to be a close game. This is 2 evenly matched teams. Like you said, their strengths kind of counteract each other. It's going to be a really cool ebb and flow, but I do think the Bears didn't play their best game last week, and that's why the score was as close as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bears are going to play better, but I also think that Tampa Bay's riding fairly high, and they're a better opponent. Bears score their most points of the week or the year. They don't get the 30 yet, but they pull off the dub. Let's drop it in here.
Oh, read it out for me.
There we go. Bears 27, Buccaneers 24.
Wow. 3-point victory. I haven't seen all the pundits out there throwing out their scores. I have a feeling they're going to pick close games too, if they're smart like us. Just some average fans having fun talking some sports. So I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. I went into the last game going, man, we're going to blow them out to pins and needles. I'm starting off this one pins and needles, so I'm hoping it turns around, and it's going to be a blowout, and I'm dead wrong. I would love to have a nice, easy Sunday afternoon where I'm not stressing, but we will see what happens. So
it was fun though, man. Watching that Arizona game was fun. I'm not as stressed because the Bears have a better record. They are in first place. They are 2-1. They have a little bit of cushion. We're just seeing the beginning of the offense. We're just seeing Mitchell Trubisky. So I really like where the Bears are at, and I do like this. I think that anxiousness that you get is because they're a good football team, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm Robert, at ShyBears Plus. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Where can you find yourself, Jeff?
Yeah, you can also find me on Twitter, +_Shy. And then I'm going to try to get a picks. Last week we were 5-1 in picks, 4-1 on video, all against the spread, covering spreads. Here you go. I picked earlier the Vikings covering. I have no idea the score of the game. Vikings covering, coming back, but now I'm rambling. So that's all I wrote.